Hey, what's up, guys? And today I'm going to be bringing you my impressions of Skyrim. I'm going to call this a review, but it's mostly first impressions. I obviously haven't beat the game yet, but I mean, it is. I'm not going to do a review after I beat the entire game, which actually you can't beat the entire game because it's a little bit of what I'm going to talk about. The game, I guess this is just what I heard. The game infinitely I don't know how to put this. Infinitely keeps on creating more side quests. Even if you beat another one, there's another one already generated up, ready for you to do. So technically, you can never completely beat the game. But I mean, I'm probably not gonna beat the main story anytime soon. So I guess this will just be my official review. But also, two quick notes before I start this. No spoilers from what I think of my written review. I usually refer on the written review. And Alpha Geek Station, the site owner, Phoenix, a lot of you know him, a lot of you don't. I have a written review up on his website, but also he did a review also. And I don't want to seem like, I don't want to make it come across that he is a bad reviewer or anything. And also the gameplay in the background. It's not really going to support what I'm saying, but it's just going to be, he helped me get the gameplay in the background. Because, which brings me to the very beginning, I had to play this on console, which sucks. I just decided I'm not going to pay $60 to get it on my computer when it's not going to be good on my computer because it's going to crash and be slow. My computer's just not quite good enough, I don't think, for Skyrim. I mean, I don't want to play it on like the lowest settings just to have a worse experience. But, I mean, the Bethesda style games, I think you really have to have a certain type of interest in a certain type of games. It's not just RPGs, it's a certain type of RPG because it's really long. But I really like these games, and that's why I found myself. I was playing for like 8 hours, and I thought I was playing for like 1 or 2, because the time just flew by. It was so much fun. Really, really one of the top RPGs ever. I don't know. I don't want to say the best because there's so many RPGs that I've played out there, but I'm gonna give my rating straight off at the beginning, 9.5 out of 10. I don't like. I will never give a game 10 out of 10 as my prediction because there's always going to be at least one flaw, which is stupid because if you see reviewers, give the review, they're like 10 out of 10, and then they give like one flaw. Even if you have one flaw, it can't be a 10 out of 10. It has to be at least a 9.5 or 9.9 out of 10. It can't be a 10 out of 10 if you have flaws. A 10 out of 10 means it's a perfect game with no flaws, and that's just what annoys me. Anyways, I don't read the professional reviews because they make me angry because of how stupid they are. That's very eloquent, I know. I'm gonna start out with kind of the cons of this, in my opinion. I knew the reason why I wasn't so mad with the problems with this game is because I expected it coming. I expected most of these problems. And one of them was glitches. This is a huge thing with Bethesda games. It's really kind of unavoidable because they make such long games. It's like plus 100 hours of gameplay, and especially just because I said that it's infinitely making side quests. You can't have the beta testers test every possible side quest because they're just an infinite amount. So you can't test for every glitch and release a patch that patches everything. It's just impossible. So there's always going to be at least one glitch. I will say, the glitches were less frequent than Oblivion. Oblivion was crazy back when I was doing the playthrough of Oblivion. There was I remember this one time, this guy it was supposed to be following me for a quest, and he would just stare at a rock and be like, "Hey, it's an enemy," and he wouldn't stop staring at the rock, and that's just a huge glitch that's really annoying. It's really I mean, if he's supposed to follow you for the quest and he won't look away, there's nothing you can do except restart, which is really annoying. Let's see, I've got to skim through as I'm talking, so it's kind of hard. But it was less frequent in Skyrim because, I mean, it just didn't see it that much. I just saw a few things, where, I don't know. I can't really explain it. Shoot. I should have thought this over before I did this. I mean, it's sometimes you'll see it's just like, what the heck, what are you doing? Like, I don't know if it's just like you going through a wall or something. Just little glitches that can't be completely avoidable because how long the game is. But I will say the thing that bugged me the most was, I think this is true. I couldn't tell because I just got it on console like a few days after the release, like 4 or 5 days. But what I've heard was that it released a patch either the one day before release or the day of release. That's not good. It wouldn't bother me so much like a one-day patch if I didn't hear what the patch was about. Let's see. I have it written down here. The patch was exactly for... Beta testers reported that they were falling through the ground and out of the world and getting repeatedly killed by unseen monsters, which means they were falling out of the world, they couldn't see anyone, and they were just repeatedly dying. And they couldn't attack back, which is... I don't know about you, but if I were, say, far in a quest and I haven't saved in a while, and it took me a long time to get where I was, and then I just fell through the world and died, I would be pretty freaking mad about that, and that's just something that needs to be taken out of the game. It's not one of those glitches like, you can just ignore that one. No, it means they're not ready. It means they didn't test it enough. Which is the problem with these super long games, is that they don't test it enough, in my opinion. Let's see. Something that was really kind of weird. I watched the E3. I watched the E3 like interview with what is that guy's name? The leader of Bethesda, or the head developer of Bethesda. I forget his name. It's like Todd something. He said that he was going through with him like. He was telling him like features of the game with gameplay, and he was telling him the release date. And he promised that there would be no invisible walls, because in Oblivion I could point out countless times where I would be, like trying to go up a mountain. It wasn't too steep, but it was just like part of the map that they didn't really bother with too much, and I would just get stuck against the invisible wall, and I would have to go around. He promised it. He said there were going to be no invisible walls. You can walk anywhere on the map. And I don't want to say it's a glitch because that's highly improbable. What he said, that there was going to be absolutely none of that, and I found myself at least running into one invisible wall. God, my voice is so congested. It was weird because it was kind of like an unvisited corner of the map, or like a place that you wouldn't think that people would go there often. So it's kind of like, or were they sneaking in, in these corners of unvisited parts of the world? Did they just think that no one would go there, and so they just didn't work on it and had invisible walls? It just when they promise it, it seems kind of sleazy to me, and it's really kind of annoying. Let's see. Let's skim through this really quick. Now, with the pros, it's weird because I always have so many cons, but they're like little itsy-bitsy things, and then I have like just general pros, so it seems like there's less pros, but there's more pros than cons. A lot of people are going to say, oh, the graphics are so improved, it's amazing scenery, and they're right, it is great scenery. I mean, if you compare it to Oblivion, like if you look at this game and then you look at Oblivion, like Oblivion's going to look so much worse. And that's just because it's obviously a much later game. This was released 5 years after Oblivion, so it's like, of course, the graphics are going to be better. But the main thing for me was, that I was really happy with was, oh shoot, Nonkers is calling me. Hold on one second. Alright, sorry about that, guys. Oh, my voice just cut off. That was a very strange phone call from Nonkers. Yeah, anyways, the biggest thing for me was the pointless looting. Thank God it's gone. In Oblivion, I'll be going around to every possible city. Say there's 50 rooms in a city, or not 50 rooms, 50 buildings in a city, and 10 rooms in each building. That's, what, like 500 rooms? So, say I search every single room, I could search 500 rooms, and literally, I'm not kidding you, find only cups, candlesticks, and apples. That's how bad the loot was. And it's stupid because it's like a looting type game, and it's like I'm not getting rewarded for my exploration, which doesn't make any sense at all. And I felt like that was a huge problem. It not only led to boredom, but it led to frustration. Why did I just spend 2 hours looting when all I got is like 50 coins in return off these cups and stuff? But I did notice in Skyrim they changed it. Thank God. Like I would go into a cave and it's like, wow, compared to Oblivion, I'm hitting jackpot every time. And it was just decent stuff. It wasn't like 1,000 $10,000 in every chest. But it was decent loot. It's not like cups and candlesticks that you find all the time in Oblivion, which I guess that was just laziness in Oblivion that they didn't put. Oh my God, that is messaging me. That is Knockers. Huh? What do you know? uh, but yeah, that was really. I felt like that was really fixed in Skyrim, which I was really happy about. That was my main concern. Because that was just so boring when you just would loot everything and find nothing. Now I actually want to loot because it's fun to find good stuff. Um, so yeah, that's pretty much all I had to say. Um, the Again, the rating was 9.5 out of 10. I can't give a game 10 out of 10 unless there are no flaws, and sadly, no game I've seen ever has no flaws. No matter what you think, you see all these, professional reviews, oh, 10 out of 10, and then they go on and they list like 10 flaws, and that doesn't make any sense. Even if they list one flaw, it shouldn't be a 10 out of 10. It's crazy. That's why I'm never gonna be a professional reviewer. It would be fun, but my boss would be like, "Hey, you gotta rate this game 10 out of 10, even though you're gonna have a bunch of flaws about it." I'd just be like, "No, shut up. I quit. I just rather do reviews for YouTube." Make no money off it. How fun. Um, yeah, I really enjoyed this game. Probably one of my favorite games of the year. Yeah, Modern Warfare 3 is definitely not. Don't even ask me that. Um, and that's about it. So, yeah, go ahead and, as always, there's a written review. I have some screenshots, kind of puny screenshots. I thought they would be bigger. But, yeah, go ahead and check out Sam's review, or Alpha Geek Station's review, or Phoenix's review of it. I don't want to come across as like, oh, his review sucks, I need to do a better review. That's not what I was going to do a review on Skyrim anyways. It's just that the reason why the timing's so weird, like just after he did a review, is because I had to wait to play this game for a little bit because there's so many games coming out. I had to buy like all these games, and I just couldn't buy them all at once in my budget. So that's the reason why. I definitely don't regret buying this game though. So yeah, hopefully I didn't give away any spoilers. Hope you guys enjoyed the review. And as always, stay tuned for more content.